can I just follow up on the statement yesterday on Cuba?
Yeah.
There was an announcement yesterday of $2 million in aid. Can you just say whether this is a one-off, whether there's any direct contact with Cuban authorities on this, whether you see this in any way leading to a broader process?
Sure. So this was a result of direct engagement with the Cuban government and of course other stakeholders as well. I don't want to get ahead of that process, but we stand with the Cuban people as they work through this and recover from this disaster, and we'll continue to monitor and assess humanitarian needs in coordination with our trusted partners in the international community, and we'll take additional steps if it deems necessary. But I don't want to get ahead of that process.
You stand with the Cuban people, but you don't stand with the Cuban government. Is that correct?
Matt.
And you stand with the Cuban people and trying to help them recover from the hurricane damage, right? But
of course.
You specifically don't stand with the Cuban government in trying to help it restore normality after all the damage that was caused by the hurricane. Is that a fair characterization?
Through this aid, we intend to work with trusted independent organizations operating in the country who have a long presence working in hurricane-affected areas, and we're currently reviewing applications from organizations such as the International Federation Red Cross and the IFRC to provide assistance as well.
I mean, the point is that the Cuban government has asked for aid. You're not giving money, and this is a rather small amount of money, $2 million. It's not nothing, but it's a small amount of money, and it's going to the Red Cross, not going to the Cuban government. And I'm not suggesting that it should be going to the Cuban government, but I want to make sure that I understand that when you say that you stand with the Cuban people, you specifically mean that you're not going to stand with the Cuban government.
We have directed this aid through this mechanism because we believe it is the best vehicle for delivery and the best vehicle for having direct impact on helping the Cuban people rebuild from this disaster.
Okay, because you know that the Cubans, although they have thanked you for this small contribution, have also said in preparation for their annual vote at the General Assembly on condemning the embargo that they've lost $3.8 billion minimum and because of the embargo. And so when you say that you're standing with the Cuban people to help them recover from the hurricane, I just want to make sure that your position of the U.S. government is still the same, that you're not standing with the Cuban government to help the Cuban.
That is correct. I'm not intending to change U.S. policy.